Hey guys, Max92 and welcome back to another tryout. Today's tryout is on Frostpunk. Now, Frostpunk is like this hardcore city builder survival game thing where, you know, you've got your little city in the middle of the frozen wastes. You've escaped London, I think, and you're like off in the frozen area because everything is frozen. It's a sort of post-apocalyptic climate disaster situation where everything is cold now, and there's not enough heat, and so you have to your city is built around this giant heat generator thing. That's what you want to try and keep that alive and build your city, your civilization, and grow, and call in more people to continue to grow. You know, that sort of thing. It's typical city builder stuff, just with some survival game elements on top of it that aren't always in this genre. It's unique in that way, and it has, to go with that, a pretty stylish representation. I think it's a very good aesthetic to, you know, how cold and mechanical things are, and it's a very like kind of grimdark setting where you're given sort of moral choices for laws to pass and stuff like that to try and keep your civilization hopeful for survival and not so discontent that they kick you out. It's a fine line to balance, and I think that's a pretty cool gameplay idea, and I get why people like this. I just think it's just kind of BS in a lot of ways, completely unfair, and how it accomplishes some of that with its like randomness. Like, I was playing through it, was like, okay, everything's good. We're at a good temperature right now. I walk away for a second, and suddenly everything's colder, and I'm like, what happened? I've not been explained any of these mechanics very well, so I don't know what's going on. But there are temperature fluctuations, okay? That should be sense to cold weather changes. But, like, suddenly everything is, my medical place is too cold to function, and it's like, well, I need that. I just built that to stop some stuff. And so then I have to, like, rush to research a thing. It's just sort of like, you know, it's just annoying. But that's not the stupidest part. The stupidest part was, like, day 15. This guy from outside the town shows up. And he dies, like, on the ledge of the cliff above us. And his last words are something like, oh, there are no more civilizations out there. Everyone's dead. It's just you. It's like, cool. That's great. So he just walks in, dies, tanks my hope down to almost nothing. I was very high. It was I had a pretty good hope in the city, and then it just tanks it almost to nothing. And then I have to build a cemetery to bury him. BS, absolute nonsense. And then shortly after that, a group of people are like, we want to go back to London. And I'm like, we just came from, it's been like 2 to 3 weeks. You remember what London was like, right? They didn't have one of these heat engine things there. Like, do you really think London is going to be better? So seriously, why would you? There's no logical reason for you to think that we were just there. But apparently they just, yeah, we're going back to London, and then I can't really do anything because I'm running low on resources, and everyone is, like, critically ill because I didn't have an infirmary research to heal the gravely ill people. So I've got, like, 20 gravely ill out of the 80 people. So I have, like, 30 people who can function as workers or something, and it's not enough to gather food and coal and run the 2 sick bays and also gather more materials so that I can, it's just not enough. And so it's like, oh, cool. I've been screwed over for basically no reason by the game, because I don't know what I'm doing. The game's tutorials are not very good, and some of the ways it tells you things are not very good. Like, I was like, it took me an extended period of time to figure out why I couldn't build things early on. I was like, I don't know what this means yet, and I've come to realize I just don't have the materials. But it doesn't say that. It shows a little icon over it, and then it flashes on the icon at the top that I don't know what any of that means very well yet because I've just started. And so it's like, what do you want from me? And I go and look at the tutorial stuff, and there's really nothing that I could see in there unless I just read it wrong. And then in the end of my hour and a half playthrough here, I just get exiled at the end. So I lose. And it's like, I don't even really know what I did wrong here. Like, what did I do wrong out of this whole thing? Like, I did my best I could. People started getting sick because I don't start with the means to take care of them. And then someone died and made everyone sad. Someone who wasn't even from our town shows up, dies, and makes everyone sad. And it's like, cool, great, absolute nonsense, BS. I understand why people like it, because it is that, like, sort of a niche thing. But it's like, really? I don't know. There's just a bunch of nonsense in just the hour and a half that I play. It's like, is that just how the first playthrough is set up? Like, are you set up to fail on your first playthrough to show you, like, how unforgiving the game is? Because I don't feel like this is the kind of game that really benefits from being that unforgiving. I think that just makes it annoying in this genre of game. So maybe that's just me, but like, no, not for me. And because of that, this game fails its tryout. I've uninstalled it already. Like, again, I get why people like this, and I like other city builders. I just don't know that city builder survival game like this is the best thing. Like, I got it for free from, like, GOG at some point, I'm pretty sure. So, like, I was playing, it's I didn't have to pay for this, but it's just sort of like, come on, I don't know, just annoying. That's what I found my experience. Like, I was getting into it a little bit as I was trying to figure things out, but I just think that, like, it's not mapped out well enough what you are doing, and I think it does things in ways that are untraditional enough that it needs to explain more directly to the player what's going on. So yeah, didn't really like it after my, like, hour and a half. So that's all I have to say about that. If you want to go in the description, find some links. Got all sorts of places: Twitter, Patreon, Bandcamp, Redbubble, etc. Click links, go to those places. Like the video if you liked it, dislike if you didn't. Subscribe to keep up with this and other shows. Comment if you played Frostpunk, if you played other games like Frostpunk. I know the second game come out. It's either coming out soon or recently come out. I can't remember. But have you played any of those? Let me know down in the comments. Share the video. Do the things. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.